Well, here we are, live, yes? Yes, good connection. Okay. Very good. I hope you can hear me, you can see me. Apparently, yes. Good. So, apparently we cannot do live anymore in Instagram, so this time will be only in YouTube, as I hope you will find the live. Okay, let's go to the meat. Let's go to the meat, guys. Hello, I'm Pablo, shaman Tivas. Very happy to be with you today here. And I wanted to make this video because maybe you have this experience that you are searching in the spiritual world, in the spiritual, I'm going to call it today the spiritual marketplace. You are searching for your way to find yourself, your way to heal yourself, your way to find your truth, to express your truth in this world. And you tried many things because there are many options today, many different kind of practices, many different kind of therapies, many different guides. There are different activities. I met the other day, I met after 10 years in this field, I discovered a new practice the other day. One guy explained that he was in a healing session where a shaman from South America, he was healing with the energy, and in the end of the session, like with dancing, with breathing and all this, and in the end of the session, the shaman was able to create like a solid stone, which was a crystallization of all the negative energy that the person was healing. I never heard about such a practice. I was wow, another practice, amazing. There's many techniques, many things we can do. So if you have been there in the marketplace of a spiritual marketplace, you tried many things, but for some reason you realize that something is missing. That these practices, maybe they give you for a while a bit of extra boost of energy and inspiration, but after a while they disappear. That maybe in the beginning the practice creates in you a lot of enthusiasm and inspiration. Oh, wow, let's see these new breathing techniques that we have to do while we are moving in this way with music and this, and then you go and then you feel, okay, another practice. Yes, I felt a bit better before, a bit more active, more energized, but in the end it's the same. I come back and the next day I will look for the next practice or the next shining object, like this. If you see yourself that you are a bit trapped in this loop and there is something that all these practices they are not giving you, or there is some element that is missing, then this video is for you, because I'm going to talk about exactly this missing element and how to implement it in our life. This missing element, it is the spiritual path, the path. And the path, it is more than just a practice, it is more than just a set of practices. It's a more complex system with many elements, with many stages. It's like a very complex journey. Complex doesn't mean that it's difficult to find or difficult to have, but what is difficult, to tell you the truth, and the difficulty today is this one. Before it was very difficult to find a path. Before, in the past, you had to go to the mountain, or you go to India, or you go to some very spiritual country. Then you need to ask, where is the monk, where is the yogi, where is the holy person who can teach me. Then you arrive to this person, then you need to, like in the movies or in the stories, you need to be several days insisting, proving that you want to go and to have the path. This was before. Today, the knowledge and the practices and the spiritual knowledge is not so inaccessible. It's more accessible today, which is good. But today the risk is not to identify the path when it comes to us. Okay? The risk that we have today is not to understand what is a path, why we need it, and how to identify it. And we may be like this, doing many practices, different practices with different setups, with different people, and to enter in a loop and to miss the opportunity, very beautiful opportunity, to actually jump in a path and commit for a path, for a spiritual path in our life, and all the amazing things this will bring to us. Among other things, the path is the only journey that can free our being fully from all the fears and from all the obstacles. I was talking to a guy who was, we were having a spiritual conversation about healing some time ago in Poland, and he asked me a very interesting question. He asked me, Pablo, it is possible that a healer or a spiritual guide can heal you fully with his energy, to touch you or to do something and you to be fully healed from some emotional pain or physical suffering or bad habit or something? And I gave him this answer. I told him this depends. If what you need to heal is something which is in the surface, which is something that maybe you are having a conflict with someone, you are having confrontation, this confrontation is creating bad emotions, bad energy, maybe from the other person, maybe a bit from you, and this conflict has been happening maybe for 1 week, for 2 weeks, and this already started to create some reaction in you, physical reaction, emotional reaction, energetic reaction. Maybe you are tired, or your energy is drained, or your mood is low. Then it is possible that in one session with one healer, with one good healer, this person can help you with a bit of energy to break this state and to clean this negativity, clean this tiredness. And it is possible you will go out from the session, you will feel good, you will feel better, inspired, creative, relaxed, without heaviness. So like this, you can say that a good healer can heal you, help you to overcome something that is in the surface of your consciousness, something that is happening in your surface. Now, if you have something that is more serious, let's say you have a negative habit, maybe an addiction, let's say you have an addiction, which is a repeating negative habit that you had maybe for years, and the addiction can be, I don't know, can be to smoking, or it can be an addiction to criticize others, or it can be an addiction to blame your partner, or an addiction to drink or to party, or something that you realize that is not good for you, but you cannot stop it. And then this is happening for many months in your life, or some years, something that is more crystallized in your everyday life. Well, for this, it is not enough to have one session with one good healer or to give you a little bit of energy. Yeah, it can help you to inspire you to find a solution that you can start applying, something like this. But to fully heal something that is more crystallized, let's say this is the second level of depth, something that is more crystallized in your life, you need to make a big commitment, let's say a big jump. For example, you may commit to go to a pilgrimage. Some people, they do like this, they lose their partner or someone important in their life, and then they feel grieving, they feel heavy emotions, and to heal this, they say, I'm going to go to make a pilgrimage in Spain. This is a very, very famous pilgrimage there in Camino de Santiago. They spend there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and with this commitment and this effort, which is big, they manage to heal themselves, to clean, to understand the reasons, to understand the meaning of this process that they are going through, to heal this, to move forward, to go through this. Or for example, you can commit for a big spiritual retreat, or to commit for some special change in your life for some months, some big change. What comes to me, for example, that we are doing in this sense in our school, we go to once a year we go to Peru usually in April or so. We go to Peru and we do ayahuasca. We do very big pilgrimage there in the mountains, and then we do ayahuasca with our master and our master from the Amazons. We are all together. It's very powerful. Some people who come to this retreat, they have this purpose. They want to remove something from their life. They feel stuck. They feel that they cannot move forward, and they have this intention, and they do it because it's very strong experience what they have there. So let's say that if you have something more crystallized in your life that you want to heal, something that is repeating, that is a pattern that has been there for months or for years, you need to make a jump and commit to something big, a big change in your life, or a big journey, or a big adventure, something big that will take you maybe some weeks or some months of unique new experiences that you never had before. This is the second level of depth. But there is one more level, which is, let's say, when you want to heal something that is very, very in the root of your life, that it was there since your early childhood. This was the systemic karma that you took from your environment, from your family, from your father, from your mother. Something that it was very, very from the beginning of your life there. And somehow now you realize, wow, I have this weakness, I have this fear. Let's say I have the fear to trust men, for example. I cannot trust men and open my heart and relax. And this is creating all the time problems with my relationships and my intimacy, my love. Or for example, you may realize I have very, very big fear to money and value. Anything that has to do with money in my life, I immediately withdraw. I immediately judge, reject, and I go back, and this is creating big financial problems in my life, big financial problems. Or, for example, you may realize that I have a big problem to be myself in front of people. I'm all the time pretending with the personality, with the fake voices, fake behavior, and I cannot allow myself to be myself. And I cannot allow myself to be myself because I have very big panic to be rejected, to be judged somehow. When you and then you realize this, and this is because my education. I remember that I had this with my father, with my mother, with my friends when I was very young. This has been all my life with me, and is conditioning the most important things from my life, this condition. When you realize something like this, which is very in the root, very, very, very in the root, something that is somehow present in all your interactions, in your projects, in your everyday life, that is there all the time. For these kind of things, and this is the whole point of this I want to share with you today, for this kind of healings, we cannot heal it with a practice. We cannot heal it with a practice, and we cannot heal it only with a big jump of commitment of a few weeks or a couple of months of change. For this we need the path, the spiritual path, which is a life dedicated to free yourself. A lifestyle with certain elements that is supporting your path to freedom all the time. Because these fears, if we have them from very, 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 very long time ago in the past, it means that we were feeding them for many years. So they grew a lot in our consciousness, and they became part of our personality. So it is not possible, something that we were growing for many, many years, to just cut it in 1 day or 2 days with one practice or two practice. In the physical world we can do it, yes, with a tree that is growing for 100 years, we can cut it in 1 day. We cannot do this organically. The spiritual healing and the spiritual path doesn't work like this. If we were feeding something for 20 years, we are going to need maybe not 20 years, but we will need some good time of consciousness and effort to go in the opposite direction on this. So this is the spiritual path. Okay, this is the definition of the spiritual path. Is the lifestyle that allows you, just by living, just by moving forward in your everyday life, it is helping you to uncover the roots of your pain, your obstacles, your fears, slowly, and to free yourself slowly, until one day you totally will clean yourself and you will be a free man, a free woman in this world. You will own yourself 100%. You won't need any external situation to be specifically like this or like that for you to be fulfilled. You will have a huge amount of acceptance. You will be able to enjoy yourself, to value yourself, and to love yourself, no matter if you are single, if you are married, if you have a lot of money, if you have little money, if you have a big name, you have fame, if you have a lot of friends, no friends, if you're alone, doesn't matter. Your fulfillment won't be conditioned by this at all. You will be free woman, free man. You will own 100% your heart and your energy. You won't doubt. Whatever you may have problems in the external world, you will deal with them with joy and creativity, like this, and courage. So this is why we need the spiritual path. The final freedom cannot come without a path, because we were feeding our obstacles for years. We need a path, a journey. Now, the first question you may have is how to find this path. But this is not the first question I want to answer. First, I want to answer the question, what are the elements of this path, so you can see them clearly. Because actually, when you know the element, you can understand better how to find it. Okay? So let's talk about the elements of the path. The first element that the spiritual path has is the community, the tribe. This is the first element. What is the community, the tribe? You know, these people where you can go be yourself 100%, share, you don't need to fake, you know they are in the same journey than you know they are doing the same efforts than you know them very well, like brothers and sisters. You can be yourself, you know their weaknesses, they know your weaknesses, so you don't need to hide anything, you don't need to fake anything. This is the meaning of tribe. You know each other, it's like brothers and sisters. With this tribe, you have celebration, you have sharing, you have release, you have healing. The most important is that with the tribe, you remember the value of what you are doing. There is something that is happening very often in our path. I know I've been the last 4 years organizing events, retreats. It happened very often that people say, Pablo, after the practice, after the meditation or after the retreat, I was feeling very, very, very good. But then a couple of weeks, in a couple of hours or a couple of weeks in the everyday life, and this is gone. Yeah, today we live in a world in which most of the people we have around, they are unconscious. They are not seeking for the truth they have inside. They are living in autopilot. They are mechanically avoiding to face their obstacles, mechanically avoiding to remember their dreams, because of course if they remember their dreams, they will face their obstacles. So the dreams, they are not welcome neither in this modern world. The dreams has to be hidden. And if you open and you start connecting with your dreams and your enthusiasm, and you go in society with this energy, you will start bothering people. You will see how they react. They will tell you, come on, how you are thinking this? This is impossible. You are daydreaming. This is too much. What about taxes? What about money? What about what people will think? What about your family? You will see that when you try to make a step in this world in the direction of your freedom, the world around you will react. It's like in the movie. There was this movie Origin, that when you enter in the unconscious of the people around will react, or in Matrix, something like this. So, in today's world, the tribe is more important than ever, because we are surrounded with, especially if we live in the cities, there's people around us all the time. We work in an office, we have neighbors, we have business connections, we are all the time with people, that with these people we are not going to feel, and you know this, you cannot be yourself there, you cannot share your healing process. They may think you are crazy if you share your healing process, for example, in social media to your friends. They may think you lost your head or something like this. So we don't have this safe space with average people who are not working with themselves. So it is super important for us not to come back and not to have all the time coming back and forward, to have a tribe. These people we meet often, that we can remember the value of what we are doing, how unique it is, how important it is for us. And we recover this energy, this confirmation. Yes, I'm doing something great. Come on. Everyone here is focused on the material things, but I am focusing something higher, more beautiful, more inspiring. You remember this. And it's super important to remember it all the time. Otherwise, we will be coming back and forward to the social pool. This is the first element, the tribe. The second element is the master. The master is super important, especially in the beginning of the path. Of course, I wanted to make a break here to remind you that what I'm sharing is generic. There are exceptions for what I'm sharing. It's not the absolute truth. There are some exceptions, but generally it is like this. It is a good roadmap to walk with. There are some special people who had very high connection to the upper world and to the spiritual world. They didn't need the masters. They had the masters, but the masters were guiding them from the subtle, from the upper world, from the spiritual world. But generally, we need a master. Why we need the master? The master will give us the direction. The direction we need to follow. And now I want to share with you this because the direction that we follow in society, generally when we live mechanically, is always a direction that is trying to avoid all the pain and the obstacles and the suffering we have inside, that we have it with us, like in the backpack. So we build lives, they are comfortable, that they are nice, where there are no many opportunities to feel this pain and these obstacles. This is the way the ego, I will use here the word ego, inspires to build the kind of life we build when we are following the ego. It's a life that it has the purpose to avoid. The purpose to avoid the truth we have inside. The truth we have inside has two parts, the dreams and the emotions and the joy, all the pain that we couldn't integrate. So the life that the ego proposes is a life of avoidance, avoiding life. You may notice that, for example, we avoid big projects, though something in us wanted to do them, we avoid them because, of course, they will create complications, they will create challenges, they will create problems, and we, in front of those challenges, we are afraid. We may be afraid. Or, for example, yes, this is yes, we want to make something very big, like a big journey, a big change in our life, and I'm sure some of you have this experience. I want to make a big change, a big transformation, but I cannot fully commit with it because when I try to make a big journey to discover this beautiful exotic country that I want to visit, but when I think about it, I think about money, I think about logistics, I think about... So I will find a way to say, okay, I cannot go because I have family, so I find a way to explain myself that it's better not to go there. It's better not to go because, yes, the country is not safe, my family needs me here, and all this. But in the essence, we need to be honest with this. We are finding excuses not to commit and to do it. We do this generally when we live in the mechanical world. We are like this all the time, compromising what we want to do to avoid what we don't want to feel, what the challenges and the obstacles and the problems that there will be in the middle. To avoid what we don't want to feel, we make compromises, and like this we are building our life. Our life, when we live in mechanical way, the unconscious way, is full of just compromises. Everything is a compromise. Because the ego wants to avoid. Because in the moment you uncover your pain, yes, you have a bad time, maybe you are processing it, but when you integrate your pain, you are free from the ego. The ego mind guide you, direct you, or control you, or condition you through your pain. If you wouldn't have pain inside gathered from the past, you would not follow any guidance from the ego at all. You will be free. So why we need the master? The master is doing the opposite than the ego. It's showing us which is the direction, which is going to help us to trigger and to awake all these obstacles and all these fears gradually, lovely, but it shows us the real path for us. For example, I will give you an example. My life. I was very, very introvert because I was very pushed by when I was a child to perform, to be perfect, and if I was not performing perfectly, I was being judged. So the way to avoid to being judged was, for me, was to avoid committing with life, committing with social connections, relationships, projects. So my way was to be introvert and to be watching movies, playing video games, and not to commit with life. It was my way to avoid this, to escape. Even when I entered in spirituality, for a while I was without the master, following my inner process. It was a very good time, but still I could not see, really I could not see that because I still was introvert, practicing yoga, meditation for many, many hours, and this spiritual lifestyle was not helping me to confront certain things that they were hidden, because still I was very introvert, a very introvert person with a very separate, isolated life. When I met my master, he put me in the path to be a shaman, which I didn't want, I didn't even consider it, to put me in the path to be a shaman, to make a project, to make a community, and to be all the time teaching, which I didn't want at all. But thanks God, I was obedient. This was a good quality I had, and I followed what he was proposing me. I was following him because he was doing the same. It was not like he was telling me from the mountains, you have to do this. He's doing the same. He's doing exactly the same. By doing this, I could then understand why I should follow this path, because there were some elements in my ego mind, some weaknesses, some fears, some frustrations, very deep frustrations, that I could only observe in this path, in a path where I committed with my direction, I committed with purpose, with an activity that I had to do in this physical world. I committed with a role, the role of the shaman, spiritual guide, and I go for it fully. This is helping me to confront myself, and is all the time cleaning me and keeping my energy high. So this is an example. Why we need the master? The master we need it very much, especially in the beginning, to show us the direction, a direction that we cannot see without him. Without him, for example, for me, it would be impossible for me to think that my path is out with people. I was 100% convinced that my path was internally with my meditation and my energy. So the master is giving us the right direction. The right direction. Okay, this is the second element. First is a tribe, the second is the master. The third element is the purpose, the goal, which is connected with the direction that the master is giving you. The goal. A goal, of course, if you already are in the spiritual path, you have a purpose. You have a high purpose to free yourself from what is stopping you, blocking you, doesn't allow you to be yourself, to express yourself freely. You have a purpose, But a goal is different. A goal is a specific crystallization of this purpose on this world, with a specific shape, with a specific direction, so you can focus your attentions and your actions in this way. For instance, if you have the purpose to get enlightened, I have the purpose to, let's say you wake up in the mornings, I have the purpose to get enlightened. Very good. What you will do? A bit abstract, yes? It's difficult. Yeah, we'll go to meditate. Yes, you go to meditate, but still, you are not going to see clear connection. You don't know how many times you need to meditate. All this is like abstract. Actually, the final destination, to be free and to be enlightened, you cannot even plan it because it's given. It will come when you will be ready. So, why is it important to have specific goals? Because, for example, the specific goal can be to make a community in the spiritual area that you like the most. Let's say, I like the most breath work, pranayama. I'm going to make a community in this pranayama in my city to gather the people and to have connection and like this to create energy. This is my goal. This is a specific goal, more clear. And now you know how to act in this direction, you know what you need to do, you will see when you have success, you will see when you have failures, you will learn when you have mistakes, and all this. So, why it is so important to have a goal that is connected with this direction that the master is showing you. Because this goal will keep your energy active and awake in the direction of your healing all the time. Remember, I told you in the beginning that we were feeding the root of our fears and our obstacles. We were feeding them for years, so much that they became our personalities. We think they are us. So they grew for a lot of time. So having a specific goal connected to the direction that your master is showing you, it helps you to keep all the time moving the energy in this direction. Without a goal, the mind cannot focus. If the mind cannot focus, the actions cannot proceed. And then the actions will go anywhere. It will be accidental. You will start doing things here, there, having fun, distractions, some things for your goals, some things in totally opposite direction. So, what happens when we don't have a goal in our spiritual path? If there is no goal, our actions will become accidental, and then we will make maybe one step forward. Let's say 3 times a year I go to have big retreats with my masters, let's say. And then in these retreats are in nature, I have amazing healing, amazing practices, breathing, meditations with my master. My master is a real master, help me, give me a lot of energy. I end up this week or this retreat, I come back to my city and I enter again in because I don't have a strong goal in my daily life, then the little goals will take me. What are the little goals? Little goals are having fun, gratifications, distractions, my typical bad habits from the past, which are actually feeding the same limitations and the same obstacles. So, when we don't have a clear goal, what happens the most, and this is my experience in me and what I see in others, is that we make 1 step forward and then 5 steps backwards, because the pull of society and the pulls of the unconscious system around us is very big. So that's why it's so important to have specific, clear, defined goals that we are all the time working towards them. Of course, the goal is something that you create in connection with your master, with the direction that he gives you. For instance, my goal is to create this community, in a spark where we are sharing meditations, retreats, we are sharing deep, intimate moments, we are sharing many things. I put this goal, I come here with you, and prepare these teachings, and I get the energy, I get motivation, I get inspiration, and all this is in the direction to break all my tendencies, which were to be introvert, to do nothing in my life, to be flat. So this goal is helping me to move forward toward my freedom. like this, the goal is helping us to be constantly moving in the direction of our healing. And we need it because for many years we were constantly moving in the other direction. So we need to create momentum, or to make 5 steps forward and maybe 1 or 2 backwards, and then another 5 forward. Like this, we can grow momentum and we can really move forward in the spirit, become more free in ourselves. So the third element, to have a clear, pragmatic, crystallized goal connected with your direction. And now the last element of the spiritual path, not the less important, but the last one I wanted to share with you today, are the practices. Yes, of course, the practices, the spiritual practices, they are very important element in the spiritual path. We need them. The spiritual practices, they give us a peak of energy and consciousness, and consciousness, not unconsciousness, a peak of consciousness, awareness, and a peak of vitality, depending on the practice. If you do meditation, contemplation, if the practice is doing a hike and a pilgrimage, it will raise your vitality. If you make the fire breathing, you will raise your vitality, and you will have a peak of vitality in this moment, maybe to overcome a problem, a situation, maybe a peak of vitality to heal something, to heal and to open our heart. We need vitality too. Or you need a peak of awareness to realize something that is hidden in the fog, and you need to create some clarity. You go in meditation and you breathe in your mind and you clean the mind, and then you have this peak of clarity and you make the right choice. Or you need to cleanse the second chakra, negative emotions, moody emotions, or you have very strong affection because there is a moon or astrological event, and then you need to cleanse yourself. Then you can go have a massage, you can have a dance with nice music to awake your mood. So the practice is all the time helping us to clean ourselves, our emotional bodies, and to reach peaks of awareness and peaks of vitality, peaks of enthusiasm, peaks of creativity, and this is helping us to move forward. These peaks, of course, the practice works for a while, for 1 hour, 2 hours. Later you will have extraordinary energy. Then with this extraordinary energy you can put it to heal something, or to create a solution for a problem that you have, something like this. For example, in our school we are doing practices almost every day, but it's not like a lot. We do 1 hour, but all the heaviness of the day, the headache, the problems, the identification with the mind, the inner noise, the inner cha-cha-cha, negativity, all this, it goes, and we remain clean. What happened to me when I had some situations and I couldn't come to the practices for a long time, that I could see how my negativity and my heaviness was gathering there, and this was making me more difficult to move forward my goals, to move forward my purpose, to overcome situations. Like you start gathering heaviness and negativities, and today in society, this is full of heaviness and negativity around, so we need to have a way to cleanse ourselves. The same way we clean ourselves in the shower every day, we need to have a way to be cleaning our energy. Cleaning means moving, that the energy doesn't get stuck in one idea, in one belief, in one fear, in one vision, negative vision. Sometimes when this happens, we feel some part of our body is blocked, stuck, rigid, heavy. It means something is not flowing in us. So to move forward in this path, we need practices. For other reason is that when you are moving forward towards your dreams, you will, in some moments, you will awake the demons. Yeah, the wonderful demons. They are not going to come anymore hidden in the back, trying to lure you, to make you make choices for the fear, from the unconscious, like they are doing usually. You will awake them, you will face them face to face, the real truth of your fears, the real thing that you are afraid of, worry about, the real memory that was painful. When these guys come to you, there will be somehow an energetic battle. For this to win over these battles, again, you need the practices to rise your vitality, to rise your courage, to become the spiritual warrior, and to beat over this. Or some moments you will awake the memory of big pains in your past, and for this you need to bring compassion to go through this pain, to feel it, to transmute it, to transform it. And maybe you need to sit in meditation, because when we are feeling pain, our tendency is to start acting compulsively, not to feel it. So in this day, what we need a practice of meditation, and to see it and breathe. The day before, we went to the forest in the night. We did a practice with the drum meditation there, and it was for this, to release, to let go. We sat in the middle of the forest, in total silence, in the darkness, and all the things that we were not allowing ourselves to feel in the daily life, full of light, activity, things. There in the forest, in the night, in the darkness, in the silence, they went out. And we could feel them, we could let them go. We came back lighter and happier. So, yes, we need spiritual practices. And we need different spiritual practices, because we target different chakras or different archetypes, what we need in every moment. The journey is very complex. In every moment we are facing different existential experiences. We need different practice for vitality, for creativity, for enthusiasm, for cleansing, for many things. For the physical body too, because the physical body has to be strong and has to be awake for this journey. We need this energy. So, this is the beautiful story. This is the beautiful complexity, the world, organic of the spiritual path, which here you can see is not one element that is repeating the same all the time, or is not, let's say, cold water. This is a very typical spiritual practice today, to enter in the cold water. Yes, we can enter in the cold water and we reach a peak of consciousness and vitality in this moment, and connection with the body and grounding. But what we will do with this? If we don't have a goal, if we don't have a master who is guiding us, if we don't have a community where we can sustain this level of this peak will come down, will go down. So I wanted to share with you this from my heart, to create clarity in the abundance that we have today in the spiritual marketplace. We have abundance of practices, guides, and options. What we really need, or what you really need to arrive to the end of this, your spiritual path, which is to be free being in this world, free from fears and from worries, to be internally free and love yourself unconditionally, you need the path. You need the path, which includes this element: a tribe, a master, a goal, and practices. So, how to find your path? This is something that I cannot tell you directly, because this you have to do it. You have to try, to test, and for this is very good. We have many options today. So, by you listening inside, what you feel when you go to this practice, when you listen to this guy, to this girl talking, when you did this retreat with this person, what came to you, or when something tells you about one specific way of healing or goal, and you maybe feel enthusiastic. You need to observe yourself when you are flying around these options, that we have so many options. You need to allow yourself to fly freely, to try things freely, without judgment, and to be very, very honest, not to be influenced by what other people are doing, because there are many people in the spiritual field and they are doing many, many things. You need to be honest with yourself to see, okay, this practice worked for me, this other practice not. And then it comes, once you are flying freely and you try, and you have the real purpose inside. This is very important. The true purpose to find your freedom, you need to have it inside. I guarantee you, life will take you to your path. I guarantee you. It will take you there. Once you will be there, once you will be in front of your path, you will have the chance to choose. And this is the most critical point. You will have the chance, the opportunity to commit. And remember, to enter in a spiritual practice, we don't need to commit. We just need to commit a little bit, to come to a workshop, a seminar, a retreat. But to enter in the spiritual path, it is required very big commitment, because you will have to commit with all these elements, to commit with a guide that you feel that this is the right person for you, to commit with a tribe, which is a big thing. Yeah, you commit with a people, with group of people, means you will open your heart for them, you will trust them, you will share with them. To commit with a goal, which is very big, to commit with a specific goal in your life, to build it, to make it happen, to give your energy, to grow it. And to commit with a routine, with practices, with cleansing yourself. So, in the end of the day, to have the biggest success in mastering yourself and mastering your energy, this commitment is necessary. This commitment to jump and to commit with a way of living that is healing us and is freeing us, gradually, every day, a little bit. So, I wanted to share this with you to create this clarity. I hope I created some clarity about this topic, about how you can find, identify your spiritual path. If you have some doubts, you can leave right here in the chat or later in the comments. And if you see this in the recording later, you can write me and ask if you have any question. I think I shared with you everything I wanted to share. The last thing I want to share is to wish you from my heart to find your path, because it's a blessing. For me, it's the best thing that happened in my life. My path, my master, my spiritual community saved me, gave me the opportunity to have a life where I feel meaning and motivation every morning. It's not like easy. Things are not coming easy, but the most important for me is this. I wake up in the morning, I feel meaning. I feel meaning, and every day I feel more free. You see, I was very introvert all my life, and now I'm doing all the time extrovert activities, projects, and it's amazing. It's amazing to be really observe how I'm transforming myself. So, heart, I wish you to have the same. Contact me if you have any question, and if you want to see what we are organizing soon, you can check in our website. We will have a retreat now in August in Poland, in the mountains. We'll be hiking, we'll be making rituals, and we will have this very strong intention to connect with the purpose in life, with your purpose, your direction, your goal. And if during this life you felt something, you connected with this, and you want to know more about what we are doing, and to feel the energy in the field of how we are doing, we do rituals and meditations, practices in nature, and you want to have the experience of all this in first person, I invite you to come. We will go to Poland, to Jaworki Natural Park, beautiful mountains, amazing environment, and it will be firing up all your energy and your vitality, and remembering you very beautiful things from your being, from yourself. That's all. I wish you to have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.